Please be seated. Well, we'd like to welcome all of you. We are glad to see all of you here, gathered together, and we are celebrating God's goodness for 29 years. Can you imagine 29 years? So everyone say hi, we welcome you. Iccc members, we like to welcome you. You can take turn the camera so you can see many of people. Well, we are so happy. Imagine 29 years. God's faithfulness is toward this church. And I say, we are so happy. And I like to ask question is, I like to ask those people who, since beginning of the church, this time I like to ask some of you starting from the Sunday school, when you're born and you're starting small. Anybody else? Oh yeah. Well, let me ask you, Yan, you're here. Vivian, Caesar, I noticed when you're small you play angklung too. Remember that? I saw the picture. Why don't you stand here together? So Vivian, that's interesting. How long, when you come to Indonesian Christian Church?
1980.
1980? So that's a starting, oh my goodness.
Manager at Scotia Capital.
Wow, can you imagine from small kids, now become a manager in the bank, so I can apply a loan with you. With good rate. Just to contribute in your life.
Well, you know, when I first came in 1980, it was mainly because of my uncle and my aunt coming to drag me to church, and I came to receive the Lord in 1982. Over the years, you know, you go through life and you go through ups and downs, and sometimes you would be in the church, and sometimes you would be out of the church. For me, I had periods where I was consistently in the church, but there was periods too, especially I think around university time, when I was outside of the church. I believe that Iccc and the church in general represents God's faithfulness to us, and that's what the church had made as an example to me, and I believe that that's sort of my role, that I want my kids to grow.
Work in their finance, but you notice that you even cook. I think many people like your food. When you're preparing, I want to do that. I notice you invite people come to the house. After the fellowship, you cook in the kitchen. When our people, the young people want to get together. What makes you want to do that, Steve?
Well, what makes me want to do that is that everybody in this room, the loving, welcoming, Christ-centered community that I found. And that, I can't explain to you enough how much that's important to me. I believe that local churches, and this particular local church, is the fabric of our society, and it's so important to me, and I'm dedicated to this church.
Well, I invite other nations coming too. I noticed that we have a brother's name Eric Song. He's a Korean. Please come here. Come into this church.
I guess I'm actually happy I wore a tie today. I wasn't expecting to come up here. So. Actually, I think the very first time I came here was about a year ago. One of the first services I came to was an anniversary celebration. So I came from my parents' church, where I grew up, where I was born into. And I realized that, you know, they may have needed me, but that's not where God needed me to be. And I really feel through this year that that God's really spoken to me and helped me to know that this is where He wants me to be. I really feel that it's His destiny for me to be at this church. And I'd just like to thank all the parents and everyone that's been really supportive of all the work that I've done and trusting me to cook for your kids.
On behalf of the parents, really appreciate your dedication for many days. You look after the kitchen for preparing for food.
Yeah.
Let's show appreciation again for